Kelly also for managing our music board. Denise is going to have surgery on Wednesday, so hold her in prayer and know that all is well with her. And she'll be back with us after a little bit, so appreciate you stepping in. First, a quote from Ernest Holmes. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Ernest Holmes says, "There can be no creation separate from the Creator, and no person separate from God." And then Nona Brooks, who is an old-time religious scientist, says, "Since unity is the basic principle of universal expression, let us base our living, our thinking, and our doing upon the law. When we live true to basics, the hard experiences of the external pass away, and our days grow restful, free, and full of joy. That which we experience is the spirit of unity, and it cannot limit us." So that's what I want to talk about today. There seems to be, I don't know whether you've noticed, but a lot of divisivity and a lot of separation and a lot of angst and anger and a lot of stirring of stuff happening and going on. And the truth of the matter is, there is no separation. There is only God, and God creates it all. And that's the important issue right now at this time in this place in our country. There's not them and us. There's not the bad guys and the good guys. There's not the politicians and the citizens. It's all one thing, and it's all unified. There's a story about a pilot who had an opportunity to take his old classic airplane up. The weather had cleared, and he was going to take his plane up. And when he got up there, the stick was shaking and shimmering and going on, and he couldn't figure out what was wrong, and it was rather serious. So what he finally decided to do was, rather than taking a dive, he pointed his plane and flew very high above it all. And when he finally had a smooth landing, he discovered that some rats had been chewing on the wires. And had he taken a dive, the rats would have been in a position to chew the wires more, and there would have been an accident. But what he did was go above it. And that's what we really need to learn. The lesson of all of this time is for us to stay above it, to not allow ourselves to be down in the confluence of separation. We, as religious scientists, because we know this philosophy, it is for us to stay above it all. Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, who said in 500 BCE, "The original spirit is harmony. It is beauty, truth, and everything that goes with ultimate reality. The universe is not divided against itself." So Heraclitus, in however long that is, 25,000 years ago or so, 2,500, said it knew that it is all one. And this is where we are called to be, to come back, and to come back to our principles, to know the truth. Alan Cohen, who is a rather popular New Thought author, said this: And this is really what I want to share with you. This is what I really want you to hear today. He said, in the Native American traditions, one member of the tribe assumes the role of faith keeper. This person's role is to remain at peace, centered in spiritual vision, no matter what events befall the tribe. Even if everyone else in the tribe slips into pain, fear, or dissension, the faith keeper is the one person the tribe can rely on as a lifeline to the presence. This is our role now. Breathe that in. We are the faith keepers. We must hold the truth. We can't allow ourselves to be pulled out of what we know. Each one of us has a circle of influence. Each one of us comes in contact with all kinds of people. It is our job to be the faith keepers. If under extreme conditions, every single tribe member stumbles into fear, doubt, anxiety, worry, and pain, the faith keeper maintains peace, spirituality, and understanding. Therefore, the faith keeper is looked upon as the mainstay to the presence of God, Great Spirit, or Creator. All of us have the potential to be faith keepers and experience the same heightened sense of spirituality, understanding, peace. We have the ability to possess the wisdom of the faith keeper through our own experiences and accumulated knowledge when they are embraced with understanding, peace, and faith. Breathing that in, we are obligated by the truths that we know and that we practice to stay above it all and to be the faith keepers. It's up to us. You all have familiarity with the 100 monkey theory. We don't need 100. We just need us. We need each one of us to be the faith keepers, to know the truth, that there is only one. There is only God, and each one of us that lives and breathes and has its being on this planet is an expression of that divine one. I know that it's hard. We get caught up in the yeah. The bad guys and the good guys, the thems and the theys, and how could theys, and blah, 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 blah. But the truth is the truth. And that is that each of us, every soul on this planet, is God made manifest with unique talents and unique skills. And it behooves us to remember that and to be the faith keepers. Dennis Merritt Jones, who wrote The Art of Being, said, "Spiritual perfection is an inherent part of each of us. It is never diminished by conditions." That part of us that is divine is never diminished by conditions. With an awareness of this truth comes the wholeness of the Spirit that enables us to accept the moment at hand as perfect, just the way that it is, knowing that nothing is ever missed or missing in God's presence. Our job is to cease judging by appearances and start knowing the truth. Will knowing the truth automatically change or fix that which has been previously labeled as imperfect? Understanding the power of affirmative mind, it may. Even if it doesn't really matter, because we have ceased judging ourselves as well as others as less than whole. Wholeness is a natural part of the sacred continuum, that journey of spirit navigating its way through the human experience as you and me. Our individual expression of the oneness are diverse. By honoring our diversity and being inclusive, we can really experience unity and wholeness. As faith keepers, we need to remember that spirit shows up in diverse ways, but still, it is all whole and perfect and complete. Diversity acknowledges the variety of characteristics and categories of identity that makes individuals unique, including, but not limited to, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, gender expression or identity, social economic status, age, physical, mental, and learning disabilities, religious beliefs, and political beliefs. Diversity recognizes the uniqueness of individuals, populations, groups, and their experiences. Inclusivity is the conscious decision to create a nurturing climate where similarities and differences are respected and supported by ensuring the active participation of the entire community. It is for us to be inclusive, to recognize diversity and embrace it. How boring this world would be if we all looked exactly the same, behaved exactly the same. How boring that would be. Yesterday we had the talking circle, and I think it was Sharon that reminded us that we are here to give God a good time. And as that's true for you and me, it is true for everyone else on this planet. Diversity is what makes life worth living on this planet. The unique characteristics of everyone, each one of us, is what makes life worth living. So when we start sectioning off what is like the acceptable diversity, what is the difference that we will tolerate, that person is kind of like me, but not exactly like me, and so that person is okay, but this one is not because it's way off the scale. We cannot live like that. We are the faith keepers. It is for us to hold the truth that God is all there is, and everything and everyone is God expressing. And I know I say it, and I say it, and I say it. But it is the truth, and the truth. And we are the faith keepers. We're the ones that must remember it, must know it on the deepest level, and must come back to it, and come back to it, and come back to it. If it is not you and me, then who shall it be? It cannot be anyone, and it should be everyone. We are the ones, we're the faith keepers. There was a sweet little story that I wanted to share with you. A little fellow named Landon, who's a 6-year-old, who was going to see Santa Claus at the River Tour Crossing Mall in Michigan. And it happens that Landon is autistic. And after they had a family photo with Santa, Landon wanted to go talk to Santa Claus. He had something really important to say to Santa Claus. And so with some trepidation, his mama allowed him to go talk to Santa Claus. He had a question. And the question that Landon asked was, does my autisticity make me naughty? Because I'm autistic, am I naughty? How heartbreaking is that? So Santa said, you know, I love you, the reindeer love you, and you are perfect the way you are. He said, it's okay to be yourself. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. And you are loved. How many children in this world, for various reasons, are made to feel less than because of their skin or their faith or their sexual propensities or gender identification, whatever. The truth is, they are not naughty. They are not less than. They are loved. And as faith keepers, it is for you and me to love all that we consider diverse, to be totally inclusive. There's a place for everyone because they are created by that divine essence. So this week I would suggest that we practice seeing each person as an expression of the one, and we celebrate and honor them, especially if they are different than you. That includes everyone. So at this time of stirring, at this time of supposed cataclysmic values, the truth of the matter is we're all one. We're all trying to find our way. We're all looking for that acceptance, knowing that we're okay, that there's not something wrong with us. Our uniqueness has a value in the whole. So would I invite you to pay attention to where you are dishonoring or honoring your own unique gifts, where you may be declaring yourself less than, naughty, and also notice and pay attention to where you are practicing dishonoring and disavowing other people. Just notice that. And then remember to be the faith keepers. Remember to come back to the truth and to hold the truth. It's a challenge to not allow oneself to get caught caught up in the ain't it awfulizing, the yada 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 da yada da. Someone must do it. Someone must step out and step higher. Someone must hold the higher consciousness. And because we know the truth, it is our spiritual obligation to practice that truth. To notice when we are dishonoring ourselves and or we're dishonoring other people. So that's a big challenge. The opposite philosophy is going on around us, swilling on around us. But here's what I would invite you to say to yourself. Radiant wholeness is my true state. I believe that it is my birthright to be well and feel great, and that I am created with exquisite perfection. My uniqueness is a gift created by God to express itself fully as me. And as that is the truth for me, it is also the truth for all others. My uniqueness is a gift created by God, and all others' uniqueness are gifts created by God. We must be. We must be. We must be the faith keepers. We must hold the truth, stand in the truth, and live from that place. It's a big job. But if we don't do it, who else will? I love each one of you. I love the uniqueness of each one of you. And I celebrate you. Namaste.
Namaste.
So I would invite Kate and Steve to join me. And so I invite you to join with me as I know the truth, as I speak the truth, as I center myself in the truth. I absolutely know and acknowledge and claim that everything is unfolding in perfection. There are not bad guys and good guys. There are only divine guys and women and children and animals and plants and flowers. It's all part of the unified essence that is God. And I know that life is filled with treasures, with blessings, with sweet joy and great laughter. I know at the very heart, at the very essence, at the depths of all, there is that quiet truth that God is. other. I keep my heart open, knowing that all is well. It is my job to be the faith keeper. And as that's true for me, I know it is true for each one of us. We have been studying and learning and embracing these principles for a reason. It is not an accident that we have learned the truth, which is there is only one, and that one expresses uniquely through diversity, through differences, and yet it is all perfect. I trust that, I know it, and I claim it. Not just for this room, not just for us, but for all. I allow peace to settle over me, through me, and around me. And I radiate that peace. And as that's true for me, I know that it is true for each one of us. And I claim our good. And I give thanks for it by saying,